And we are now live.
We are live.
We are live. So hello everybody. I hope you can hear me. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear us and see us okay. I haven't actually got the chat up, but I will do that. So I'm joined today. Right, Barry's busy on his phone.
That's not normal for me.
So Barry Doublet.
Doublet.
Barry Doublet.
Doublet.
From the Burky and Badger show.
From the Burky and Badger
but
show.
also
from BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com.
And
Sirenscape.
Yeah.
And
he's asking for your country.
Oh my.
No, I'm asking for you.
Oh, she's okay.
Does the music for Seventh Continent and does the games.
Soundtrack genius. Oh my god, I'm patting myself on the back.
Musician. Soundtrack guy.
Yeah, soundtrack guy.
Yeah.
Soundtrack guy.
Kevin Burkhardsmeyer from
Nicely done.
Burky and Badger show, but also now Game Toppers.
Game Toppers and Gimli. I'm a dwarf.
Gimli.
They think we pop up from holes in the ground.
So we played Lord of the Rings last night,
Yeah.
and Kevin played Gimli, and we succeeded
We did.
on the very, very last turn with Aragorn on the very, very last test.
Thanks to the intelligent person.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
And Josiah, Kevin's son, who is Star Wars Armada World Champion 2017. 2016.
And the youngest one in
The
last
youngest
year's Gen Con National.
So has Armada been out that long?
Yeah, it came out 2015.
Wow. Where did X-Wing come out?
I don't know.
The original one. So Armada came out after
Yeah, that
X-Wing.
was 2013, I think, because I was just going to buy Wings of Glory,
Right.
and then I heard that was coming out. And I thought,
So when we say world champion, is this like the World Series of Baseball where it's just America? Or is it actually, were there people there from other countries?
Well, there are.
Right, it's proper world champion.
Fantasy Flight, at least in that, they fly in the national champion from the different countries
Cool.
to come there. But other than that, obviously there are a lot more Americans there.
Well, yeah, but as long as there's other people, that's fine. Right. You three talk about what you've done today while I get the chat up to make sure this is all working okay.
Certainly.
I got up at 5:30 and waited for these guys to all get out of bed around about 10.
I was waiting for you to get up.
I was up. I
was
up
up before
before
you were up.
I mean, you didn't have an 8
I
hour
just went
flight.
back to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, and you didn't have an 8-hour flight.
No, but I had an 8-hour car journey.
Yeah, and you had car lag. We were experiencing jet lag, the real thing. Today, we had the opportunity to go to Exeter, England, and we went to the cathedral, which was quite amazing, actually.
Yes, a nice big, old traditional English architecture based on the Christianity of 10,083. I know.
Yeah, we got to see the Roman wall
Yes, some plaques.
of tombs.
Tombs. There was some things on the wall, some stained glass.
Stained glasses.
Yeah, and you out the blue said Sigrata.
Yeah, Sagrada. We were at Sagrada.
So there we go. We tied in board games
and
visiting
peoples.
what static energy.
No, I'm going to switch the laptop over to
Tobago.
Oh, man.
hardwire it in the hope that
The
Tobago.
Tobago was on one of them too.
Well, Tobago, it was a missionary to Tobago, was entombed in the cathedral under the floor. So we did see that. But
Fuzzy was a woman.
Where's my network? There we go. Right, I switched over to the hard cable to see if
slow down the bandwidth.
Yeah, yeah.
are you downloading TV programs again?
Yes, I am.
Just yours.
Yes.
Likes watching himself.
I like watching myself.
Right, audio is here. That's good. Video is choppy. Because on my screen there is no video at all. So yeah, I don't know.
That's YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
We have that problem.
Well, you can't actually see anything whatsoever.
I can,
Right. Okay.
but when I start piddling about with chopping, screen sharing and bits and bobs, things just disappear.
There we go. Right. So it looks like it's back on. Yeah, logo only. Tony's here. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, it cuts in and out. Well, and Adam's here as well. Hi, Adam. You need to book your ticket for Ting, Adam. I need to remind you. There you go.
John Boy's here. Night, John Boy.
Loki's here as well, drinking my water. Hello, Loki.
Oh, I thought you were calling him Loki.
No. So Loki's on camera.
He's the
There we go.
mischievous one.
Right. So yeah, hello to everybody. Susie's here. Adam's here. AJ's here. Emma's here. Lots of people are here, which is good. So we have a few questions that we've taken in advance. I will go on to them now
Excellent.
when I find them.
He's kind of like Alex Trebek.
I have prepared so much for this.
Yeah, he's like you have to answer accordingly.
Well, we house down twice in the last hour. Set the fire off twice.
What is Gimli?
That's not the fire alarm. That's the burger alarm. The fire alarm is a whole tone higher.
There may be faulty quotes.
Oh, yes.
During the show.
Yes, well, we are in Sybil's patch, aren't we?
We are.
Civil Patch, England.
Right. So monthly live Q&A questions thread. Right. The first question is from Emma, who is in the live chat.
All right.
Bonjour, Emma.
A question for Barry. Bonjour, ça va?
Oui, nickel chrome, madame.
Right, I've not read this before, so I'm going to read this straight out. So far, I have found that board game culture in France is very different to that talked about in the English-speaking board game community. I am a member of 2 associations de jeu, which have lots of women and also, interestingly, teachers, about a third, as members and go to local games festivals which are family-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Brittany, though. How does your experience compare?
It's exactly the same.
As Emma's.
As Emma's.
So it's different from everywhere else.
It is different from, say, here or America. It is very family based, and there is quite a lot of teachers. I know quite a few teachers that come to game groups.
Okay.
And it's another world. It is more family friendly.
Right.
Although a lot of the associations that we have, they exclude children because children either just run around or they get bored of playing a game for 10 minutes and do something else.
Right.
But yeah.
So there you go. So it seems to be a cultural thing for France.
Yeah. And in your region, you are so lucky because there's so many festivals. You got about 15 different festivals during the course of the year, whereas
Board game festivals.
Board game festivals. I mean, some of them are big. They have like the publishers there, so like Matigo would be there, or Gombex
and outdoor festivals with tents. And
yeah, that's the end of next month. We have Paris Ludique, which is the big 2-day weekend in Paris, where it's just all the publishers from France. We even have publishers from Belgium. We had there was Modifius that came last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was an English guy, and he was teaching French people how to play a game in English because he couldn't speak French. Which is but yeah.
Okay, right. So that's the first question in from Emma. The second question we've had in on the Board Game Geek Guild is from Andy Grant, who can't make the Q&A, but he'll be watching it afterwards. He wants, because he's playing 5-player Escape Plan tonight. Good luck with that, Andy. What are your thoughts on Glenmore, if played, and that style of game? I think you have played Lunar Architects that uses the same mechanism. I really like Glenmore, and I really like Lunar Architects. So I like that mechanism. You played either of those?
I've played Glenmore. That's the one where it's the worker placement, not the worker placement. You place your character in like Ticado.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about that mechanism where the person at the back.
Yeah, gets
there's
to go.
There's like a trail.
Yeah.
I mean, it was first used, I think, in Thieves.
Right. Okay.
Because I call it the Thieves mechanism.
Okay.
So it's from that. Basically, you've got like a time track, and the player markers are on it, and whoever's furthest behind will take the next turn.
Yeah.
And if they just do a one-time thing, then it's their go again.
Yeah.
And then if they're still behind, they go again. And then if they move 4, right, it's now your turn, and then you go there here, and then it's your turn. And so yeah, that mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that mechanism. In fact, one of the many games that I've designed in my head used that mechanism. Right. So that's it for the questions on the Board Game Geek Guild. Not many. But
Did you like Glenmore? Or
I haven't played that, but I have played Tokaido.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that mechanism.
Tokaido's different.
Yeah.
Because in all of the other games, there is a advantage or disadvantage
to moving one space at a time.
Whereas in Tokaido, it's like if you're behind, you just literally just move one space at a time because that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, you just mop up all the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
On a different player counts, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
So,
in Glenmore, you're penalised on the number of turns that you take in the game, basically. So you kind of want to take few turns, but important ones.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go over to the live chat and see what kind of crazy questions we have in there. If I can find it. Where is it? Here it is. Right. So,
Man of Steel or
that's Adam.
oh, right.
Right.
I thought it was a question. Man of Steel or
Emma
Batman
saying,
versus Superman.
I recommend Flip in the Parthenon in July.
Flip, yeah.
That's another one, is it?
That's a festival, yeah.
Right.
I don't know if I would get to that. I only go to Ludinor. I go to Paris Ludique. Sometimes I go to Epinel, and I've just found out there's another one close to me. There's one in Reims where I live, which I go to every year because my good friend runs that. But there's another one.
Cannes?
No, I'm going to go to Cannes. Hopefully, if
Cannes is huge, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
because if Scott Oldham remembers, he's going to let me work for him for BGG.
Oh, cool.
At Cannes. He forgot this year. I was supposed to go this year. The year before, I was supposed to go with Sorry We Are French and Funky Sheep, but that's when my dad passed away.
Right.
So he was like,
Do BGG have a presence at Cannes already? Then?
yes.
Right. And they just want you as part of the team.
They've gone 2 years before, and they do like what they normally do, the Gen Con previews.
Right.
You know, they set up a booth and
They need to be at Expo. Expo's big enough now.
yeah.
I mean, Expo's been bigger than Origins the last couple of years.
Right.
But it's a bit of a rush for them because they're at the moment. They just finished their
BGG on
summer.
spring. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. It's
spring.
not ideal timing.
Right.
It's like I've been trying to contact Paizo in the last week, and they've been ignoring my emails, and then I found out that this week is PaizoCon. Okay, so
This last
That's
weekend,
fine.
it's
I'll-
Cool Mini or not had their
yeah,
expo
yeah.
and BG
But they replied to me.
Yeah, and again, it's the same in France. The last
Well,
count,
for
there's
that.
151 festivals during the course of a year. That's at the moment the count. There's more, apparently.
Because we don't call them festivals, we call them conventions.
Yeah, but a festival is
Same thing.
It's the same
basically.
thing. Or
Okay.
a foire.
Right. I associate that with music
Yeah,
festivals.
yeah.
Right.
But it is. There's music. Board game is music.
Board game
Board game is
music.
passion. Board game
Barry,
music.
Barry plays the board game
I
music.
play the board game music. 10 continent.
Yeah, he records
On
it
11.
also.
Not 10, 11.
So I posted earlier on today to the Board Game Training Chat Facebook group. I'm wearing the new T-shirt today. It's a bit the thing's a bit wide, so when you see me, it just looks like
Yeah, it raps.
I'm wearing,
board game
I'm wearing Nirvana.
rather than board game. It's a bit, yeah. I need to be wider, basically.
I'm not. I guess I don't have anything to
You got
throw under here.
your big K there, super K.
So yeah, we had a few questions in on that, and I'm just going to get those questions up again. And we have,
Oh, that's a horrible picture.
yeah,
My glass is empty.
I found it on the internet.
My glass is empty. There's no ratafia in my glass.
Yes, that was
Right.
Barry treating me to Rick.
So a question from Rick, who we
Rick.
met yesterday.
All right,
All
Rick.
right.
Awesome.
What is your favorite Star Trek game?
Star Trek game.
Didn't he ask that yesterday?
He did, but he's asking it again because 2 hours in, I had no questions.
My favorite Star Trek game of all time is from Gale Force 9, and it's Star Trek Ascendancy. And the base game comes, with the Federation, the Klingons, and it's a good day to die. And the Romulans.
And the expansion set was
We've got the Cardassians,
Kardashians. That was
and
it.
just recently the Ferengi.
Oh, right.
These tube grubs are chilled to perfection. So gotta love the Ferengi. They're all traders too. And we actually played that one time with a group guy and Ben played with the Ferengi and actually was able to win using that mechanism
Okay.
of just collecting resources and multiplying and doing that.
That's good.
Josiah and I played with the Borg expansion,
Right.
which added a fantastic 2-player against the Borg.
A co-op mode.
Oh, it was amazing.
Okay.
The tension that went there. Go ahead and explain it.
It's not quite like fully co-op. It's just there's now a third party that can win the game.
Okay.
If you don't take care of it.
And we had to manage that, and so it created this tension against the Borg.
Yeah.
Where we're still watching each other,
Which
still,
is thematic. I mean,
Correct.
I don't like semi-co-op games, but it sounds thematic.
it was fantastic.
So
What's your favorite then?
I've not played Ascendancy yet, but I've heard so many people say how good it is. I mean, I've played lots of Star Trek games over the years. I mean, I grew up playing Starfleet Battles in the 1980s, so I've been playing Star Trek games since I started
I
gaming.
played one. It's the VCR version.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one with Gowron.
With Gowron
yeah.
on the front box.
I've still got it, and I
Oh,
played it with my daughter last year.
you've still got a working VHS.
No, I had it copied onto.
Oh, you've copied it onto.
DVD.
We have that one. I picked it up at a garage sale.
Yeah.
No. Yes, I'm talking to you. You, the player, moving now.
Back when VHS games were, because there was the Star Trek one and Atmosphere. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Star Trek games. If you've got any Star Trek related questions, we can talk about Star Trek forever.
For a
Yeah.
while.
Or Babylon 5.
And we did yesterday.
Yes.
Or just sci-fi in general.
Yeah, just like on
Star Wars, Battlestar.
We don't want to talk about board games.
Star Wars. You have a Star Wars expert
Battletech.
here.
technically sci-fi.
There you go. Right.
Babylon 5 expert.
Another question in from Rick again.
All
Thank you,
right.
Rick.
Way to go, Rick. You can win it for us, baby.
They're all from Rick. All of these questions are from Rick.
Wonderful.
Short-term memory. He asked
He's a
me
smart
yesterday.
guy. I
before-
can
He
tell.
is.
I can tell.
Do you do custom game toppers using images supplied by customers?
It's a great question. You know, our game toppers are a portable gaming top
Mhm.
that convert your existing table into a high quality game table.
One of these.
Currently, we have about 14 mats, and they're all thematic.
Yeah.
So, like you're seeing here, the war terrain green. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera there.
Probably not because the quality is terrible.
This
But
is the war
it's-
terrain green
yeah,
mat,
it's
which
a
we
grassy
played.
green map.
Yeah, just you can play a lot of different thematic things. We have red and blue. We have an adventure mat that actually looks like kind of Lord of the Rings. We have a space mat for space games. We have a dungeon mat for dungeon crawl. So basically the approach we've taken is not so much customization, but it's much more of creating an environment that will fit a bunch of different games.
So if I said to you, I've got a 6 foot by 4 foot picture of Barry, can you do that as a map?
That one I would do. If you create the artwork, we will make that happen.
Okay. But normally, no, you don't do mats on request.
No, and basically the exception to that is we have so many wonderful affiliations with a lot of partners, a lot of the big companies that are using our game toppers that own them in their show kits. So I've accommodated them with custom logoed mats.
Yeah.
And some of the media personalities that we work with as well, we've been able to negotiate that with our manufacturer. But the process is really expensive when you do one at a time.
Okay.
So that's
So
kind
Rick's-
of the bottleneck.
Rick's
there.
follow-up question was, what about copyright images? But that doesn't matter because you don't do it.
Exactly.
Right.
We hired actually 3 of some of the top board game artists out there. We hired Andreas Ziferatis, who did Mage Wars, Android Netrunner. There's
Right.
a whole bunch of other accolades. Brent Chumley, who did Doomtown Reloaded.
Oh, yeah.
He did D&D 3rd edition.
Right.
He's done some magic work. In addition to that, we hired Jaroslav Radecki, who is from Poland. He's an art professor. He did the artwork from Reavers of Midgard.
Right.
He's doing our new Viking theme mat and our brand new secret mat that'll be revealed at the Kickstarter that we can't talk about.
Can't talk about
Because
it.
I'd have to kill these guys if we talked about
Do you know what
it.
the best game
I
to play
already
on
know.
this green mat is?
I know.
Hey, he
He
knows.
knows.
Yeah, your day is coming.
The best game for this green mat here, if you ever get this green mat, is to play the game pick it, flick it. No, pick it, lick it, roll it, flick it.
Right.
Because then you can't find them.
Is that where you pick your nose and...
Yeah.
Okay.
You're English, aren't you? You know
Oh,
that
boy.
expression.
I've not really heard of that.
Game, sorry.
No,
I don't know the game.
that
I don't
was,
Is that a real game?
That's
that
a
was
real game.
inappropriate. Barry.
We used to play it at school all the time. Pick
That
it, roll it,
was
roll it, flick it.
inappropriate.
Pick it,
Barry.
roll it, flick it. Right. Question in from Simon Tuckley. This is a good one.
All right.
What game got you guys into gaming, and what was the first game you brought? He says brought. I think he means bought. We'll start with Josiah while I look at the live chat. So the game that got you into gaming, and I'm assuming that Kevin got you into gaming.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to pick out an exact game because I remember when I was really young, we'd play like Milton Bradley Axis and Allies, Shogun, which I think they remade as.
Samurai Swords.
That was when you were
Sword.
5, wasn't it?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I was playing them in my teens.
Yeah.
So-
We actually did when we were younger. When you were younger and I was younger too, I guess.
So, I mean, those were kind of the first games that we played. And then we started a tradition where we were getting a family game each Christmas. And the first big one was Catan that we got.
95? Around the time it came out? Or
Well, and it was that time when Days of Wonder was really making tracks after Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
And they had this special at Christmas where you'd buy one game. If you were signed up in their loyalty program, you would get a second game free at Christmas. Well, that's when they came out with so many of the wonderful Days of Wonder games, Coliseum and
Cleopatra,
Cleopatra, all of those. And one of the big ones that we enjoyed then was Memoir 44.
Right.
And we started grabbing, I mean, for Christmas for several years there was Memoir expansions that went his way.
Right.
You know, I don't know, do you remember which of those games we played?
Yeah, well, it was Catan first, and then we basically went on a Days of Wonder where we got for like 5 or 6 years. We just got new Days of Wonder games at Christmas, but I know Pirates Cove and Coliseum were some of the first two.
Pirates Cove was really popular for our family.
So first game you bought?
First game I bought. Oh man, let's go to someone else and I'll see if I can remember because that's gonna be hard to remember now.
So Kevin, was your gaming a similar thing? Was it Axis and Allies and Shogun? And...
It pretty much was. I started out actually with a good friend of mine, Dan Lemke was his name, and we would play a lot of those war games. And one of the first ones that I bought was called Trenchfoot.
Right.
And it actually had all the little hexes and all the little paper chits that you'd move around. And that was one of the first ones I remember purchasing. But all through high school, and this is back in 1980, so that dates us a little bit. But I had the original big box Milton Bradley, Fortress America, Conquest of the Empire, Shogun, Axis and Allies. And this is before the newer releases. And we just played the mess out of those games. And if you think about other games, we played Risk like crazy.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, one of our big family games early on, because we had neighbors that lived next to us, was Monopoly.
Right.
But we played the electronic version that sat on top.
Okay.
And that you could actually take loans against your property.
Oh.
So the device did all of the movement. And then if all of the properties were sold, it clicks and it set after about a couple rounds, it'll make this do sound, and all of a sudden that was a buyback. Everybody had to sell back their property to the bank at the original cost, even if you paid more for it at an auction.
Right.
And the whole set would go up for auction.
Okay.
So it created a different twist on Monopoly. It was still roll and move and all of that. But we had our friends over and we would play the mess out of that game.
App-driven games never catch on.
Well, there it is.
Barry?
Okay, my family were card players, so at an early age we played lots of trick-taking games and Uno replicants and other kinds of card games. But we also had a family that used to live next door to us, and our families used to meet up a lot, and we'd get out a board game like once a weekend. It would be Monopoly or Scrabble. No good at Scrabble, but there was this really cool Cluedo game where all the characters had these colors and letters in the corner, and when you pick out your suspect, your weapon in your room, you slip them into these trays, which cover over the four corners.
So not Cluedo.
It's Cluedo.
It's Cluedo.
It's Cluedo.
Right, okay.
Right. So when you go to a room, you can look at one of the three cards, but one of the corner symbols. Okay, and then you'd have a list because each card had had two colors and two letters, and you had to decipher by if you look at one of them, it got an A. Okay, an A. So it could be this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one, and then you remember which one it is, and you decipher. When you keep looking at the same card, you go, okay, it's A and blue. Okay, which cards are A and blue? And so you decipher the three main cards from that.
Right.
I can't think what it was called. It wasn't Ultimate Edition, but yeah.
And first game you bought?
First game I bought. That depends whether it be a book, because there was the Fighting Fantasy books, which I got into at about 12. But when I got my first wage packet, I bought Hero Quest.
Right.
From the Games Workshop.
Nice.
And
Hero Quest.
Hero Quest.
Best game ever.
No.
Do you remember?
Don't know why.
I do actually remember. And I remember when I was thinking about it. So Pirates Cove was actually the first game I bought.
Right.
Because it wasn't a Christmas gift, because we had got Coliseum, and I was looking on the Days of Wonder website, and I saw the review for Pirates Cove, and I loved it. And I remember watching that video like multiple times before I was finally able to buy it. Before I bought it, I was so excited.
Before we got into the hobby, the greater hobby, if you will,
Mhm.
you know, for me, it was about 7 years ago. But I remember Josiah would consume board game media.
Right.
And I didn't really know a lot of what he was talking about. In fact, the first time I met Tom Vasel at Gen Con, I didn't know who he was.
Right.
So, but Josiah and his best friend Trevor, they were there for their graduation present. Both his dad, Trevor's dad, and myself are good friends, and we brought both the boys to Gen Con for their graduation present. So we see Tom Vasel in there, and Trevor and Josiah, they're seeing Tom Vasel, and they're these 18-year-old young men that are,
yeah,
it's Tom Vasel. They can hardly talk, and I'm just kind of looking up at who this big,
Who's this
tall,
guy?
red-hatted guy is, and I don't know who he is, but they were pretty impressed.
So for me, the game that got me into gaming, I mean, my gaming history goes back, you know, a long, long time. My family played card games on a Sunday night, played for half p, we played canasta and things like that.
Yeah.
But I remember, I have childhood memories of, like, I don't know, I must have been 6, 7 or 8 years old, because I'm an only child, and I was at home playing like Mousetrap on my own, or Spy Ring, something like that. So I've been a gamer since a very early age. 1982 got the Warlock of Far Top Mountain when it came out, got into that, got into D&D. So I've been primarily a role player in the 80s, but I dabbled with, I had a copy of Axis and Allies, I've still got it in the other room, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Samurai Swords, because I bought it when they rebranded it.
Okay.
I've got a copy of that up in the attic.
Does that actually have the swords?
Yeah. For determining initiative is brilliant. You hold the swords
right?
out.
It's awesome.
It's just amazing.
It's great.
1830, Advanced Civilization, Acquire. You know, we didn't have many games back then. I dabbled a little bit with Hex and Counter War games, but they were bloated and they took too long to play and they were just too complicated.
No,
I then did as I say, I was doing role-playing games. I got seriously into Magic the Gathering. I got into Netrunner. I did all sorts of stuff here and there. I did a bit of wargaming as well. But then when I went cold turkey on Magic in 99, I switched to board games. And the games that were being played at my local club at the time were Formula D, which I now wouldn't touch with a barge pole because it's so long, massive downtime and very random. Supper, Primordial Soup, which is okay, but a bit random. Games like that. But then I remember it was Princes of Florence. Dave and Hazel, friends of mine who I met through Magic the Gathering. They were sort of half getting out of Magic as well, and they were getting into these games that I started dabbling around with. And I'll never forget this phone call. This is in 1999. Phone call. They were at Leisure Games in London, and they called me up and they went, "We're in a shop. We've seen this game called Princes of Florence. Do you know anything about it?" I was like, "No." And I looked it up and I was like, "No, don't know. Well, we'll get it. We'll see what it's like." And they brought it back and we sat down and we were like, "What the heck is this?" It was our first proper Euro game. And the rule book, which was totally perfectly well written, but it confused us because we were like, we do what? We auction this. What's the point of that? You can put it here and you do that. Amazing game. One of the best games ever. But that was probably my first transition into modern Euro games, would have been Princess of Florence 99.
Wow.
And then, 20 years. So first game I bought, I don't know. It would have been one of those in the 80s. I mean, when Games Workshop started doing board games in the 80s, they did Railway Rivals, they did Battle Cars. I bought all of them.
Space Hulk.
Every time Games Workshop did a board game in one of the A4 size boxes, I bought it, even Chainsaw Warrior. And then, and then was like, well, what is this rubbish?
It's kind of interesting because we talk about 1980. We're in 2020 almost.
Well, I'm only 27 years old, so I don't know how that's
I
possible.
do understand that likewise myself. So we'll say late 80s, but
Aragon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But you think about when we first bought that, I remember my buddy and I buying it together because when we bought our first, like Fortress America, that was after the three Milton Bradley series, but this was like $55.
Yeah.
Well, this was a big deal, but the miniatures and everything that are in that game, you take a look now, 30 years later, 40 years almost, board games are similarly priced. Now with that level of detail, it'd probably be $100-ish type of game, but still, for 40 years, for it only to double, that's pretty remarkable, actually.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much, Simon. Good question. Tom's got a question for us. Who is a Timepieces favorite board game designer?
Timepieces.
Now this is a running joke, but
Okay.
the last live Q&A me and Paul Harris, we spent an hour and a half basically doing board game puns
Okay.
for the whole show.
When you say we could do that,
Yeah.
I've been holding
Well,
my tongue.
I didn't want to say. So Tom knows the answer to this. I will get Tom to tell me what the answer is. But we had like, oh god, what were they? So some of the
Paul, it's gone.
yeah, there were lots of them, and they were very funny. And I
The
can't
tile
remember.
laying game, not Carcassonne. Paul, it's gone.
Paul, it's gone.
Yeah.
No, it was more than that. Anyway, what's a board game designer? A fabric that's used in the kitchen's favourite board game designer.
Oh God, I've had too much Guinness.
Tea towel Lacerda.
Two towels.
Tea towel Lacerda. Things like that. Anyway,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
A question in from Kelly. One for your guests. Good. I can have a break. If game-related things don't work out for you, which celebrities do you think could be employed? Do you think you could be employed to impersonate? Brilliant question.
Say it again.
Yeah.
If things in the board game market don't work out,
Okay.
which celebrities do you think you could be employed to impersonate? Either visually or audibly.
I've already done Tom Vasel.
The board game personality.
No, any
Any
celebrities.
Well, I don't know. I'm Bond. James Bond would be. We will listen to their rock and roll music while we conduct missile drills.
Yeah. Every time
So who's that?
It's Sean Connery.
Is it?
Sean Connery.
Okay.
Bond.
Right.
James Bond.
James Bond.
Obviously.
Yes,
Which
James
one?
Bond.
Right. So you're going to be a Sean Connery impersonator.
An older Sean
An older-
Connery. Yes.
Well, not much of. No, he's a lot. He's a lot older than you.
Hunt for Red October, Sean
Okay.
Connery.
Okay. So Josiah, who are you going to impersonate?
Well, I don't do celebrity impressions. So I just do weird accents because I can.
Do it. Go on. Do Bob
I mean,
No,
Boxfire.
you do.
I suppose since my dad didn't do his other one, I can do that one. So I can do that one.
I tell you what we're gonna do. This is a family business. And if they bring it here, we're gonna show them whose business that they're messing with. They're gonna sleep with the fishes.
We're going to make them a table they can't refuse.
So,
You come for me
is
on the
that
day of my daughter's wedding. Do you show me the respect that is due?
That's Catherine Zeta-Jones, isn't it?
Yes. No, he did a pretty good
That was
Godfather
good.
there.
That was
Yeah,
good.
A little bit of Marlon
Very
Brando there, maybe. Younger Marlon Brando.
Right.
He's-
Barry?
I don't believe it, Junior. These people are trying to kill us.
I have no idea who these people are.
That's Sean Connery.
That's
again.
Sean Connery as well, isn't it?
That's the last crusade.
I'll try-
Strangely
do
enough,
it now.
that was very different from your
Yeah,
Junior.
my jaw hurts.
Junior.
I can't do it. Junior.
Junior,
These people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad.
that is our dog.
Right, thank you very much, Kelly, for that.
Yes,
for that.
Chief Inspector Clear speaking.
Right, let's go to the
Yes,
live chat.
yes.
So we've had Marcelo Duarte. Thank you very much for your question. What are your most played games?
Viticulture. There you go.
Yeah, how many times?
Viticulture.
Culture.
57, I think it's recorded. And
Okay,
Oh,
62.
my
62, 57 for Zero.
right. 62 games of viticulture.
I don't count.
Probably
mine.
Uno, though. Probably played Uno the
That's
most.
the thing. If I was to count Magic the Gathering,
Yeah.
it would be, well, actually, I've played 300 games of Puerto Rico online. So that's probably close. I took a career break in 2003 and I spent a lot of my time on
That's a lot.
Drinking porter.
whatever site it was, Brett Spielveld.
Ah.
And I played many, many games of Puerto Rico. I've played 150 games of Castles of Burgundy online, possibly even 200. So if you count online games, there are a few games that I have played a lot of.
Yeah, if I counted that, that'd be it. That one for sure would be Baseball Highlights 2045.
Right.
Because that's my go-to game on my iPad. If
Right.
I want to just go take 15, 20 minutes
You
and
just
get a quick game in. My time for gaming has really diminished this last couple of years. But
Yeah.
we played a lot of Blood Rage, a lot of family games. So we've played a ton of Ticket to Ride and Coliseum
Yeah.
and that type of thing. But we don't get the games back to the table near as much.
no. And
you
with new
know,
games coming out
today.
all the time, I can't read that.
No, I
But what do you think?
I mean, you've recorded all of your games.
For you,
yeah,
Yeah.
right, I
I'm
have.
not sure. Probably like you say, but for me, I know it's Star Wars Armada.
Star Wars Armada.
Star
Because
Wars
I've played
Armada.
it competitively so much, so tournament games that up, and then I've played it online as well on Vasel. So
Oh, right, okay.
We play a lot
sorry, I
of
played the majority of my Armada games since
Right.
there
Let's
are
play-
people in Minnesota.
yeah, we play a lot of card games as a family though.
Mm.
And it's party games when we have people come over. So games like No Thanks and games like For Sale.
For sale, no thanks, brilliant.
Played
Yeah.
tons of those and code names and those type of games. Port Royal,
Mhm.
love that game.
Okay.
We've played the mess out of that.
Yeah, I
one.
mean, I've probably played Codenames. I mean, I've been demoing Codenames a lot. And in some of those games, I play as well to make up the numbers. So I've probably played that, I don't know, 100 times. I've played Gloomhaven like 35, 40 times.
Mhm.
But most of the board games in my collection, you know, Lisboa is one of my favorite games. I think it's a great game. I've probably played it 9 times.
Wow.
And that doesn't sound a lot when you compare it to the 30,
Yeah, but
40 or the.
that's a lot for that.
But for
game.
Lisboa, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, good question, Marcel. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that is a good question.
Question in from Adam. What game or games do you think will be the hottest at UK Games Expo? Do any of us actually know what games are coming out at Expo? No, I've been too busy working,
Mhm.
and
I haven't heard much buzz actually.
there's a bit, but I don't have my ear to the ground on what's coming out.
You know, Tiny Towns has just been released, and that's getting a lot of.
But AEG are not there.
A&G is not there.
AEG are not there
I
this
thought
year.
they were.
Nope,
Okay.
I don't think they are.
I saw.
Um,
I think I saw them on the plan,
Yeah, I thought they were, but
and I was going to pop
That's a
by
good
and check
question.
out Tiny Towns because it does look like
Tiny
my
Towns is-
cup of tea.
I've got a copy. We can play
Right,
it.
we need to
seen
play
it.
Tiny Towns.
It's very good. It's very good.
But yeah, I don't follow board games anymore.
I've set Tiny Towns up.
Seriously.
He set it up. We took pictures of Tiny Towns.
Right. So yeah. Well, if somebody can answer me and answer the question in the chat, are Alderike Entertainment Group going to be at UK Games Expo? But no, I mean Matt Evans from Creaking Shelves released his top 10 games that he's looking forward to at Expo, and I said thank you very much, Matt, because you've done my work for me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Because
fantastic.
he likes the same games as I do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to work. We're not going to play,
Yeah,
are we?
exactly.
We will play in the evening.
Yeah, we're playing the evening. I'm just going to go in there and just meet people like yourself and just talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't go for games.
Do
anymore.
the royal wave.
Are we still live? Because the thing seems to have paused.
It'd be in the chat. Someone would write in the chat.
Well,
that
I'm
it's not
hoping somebody would
working.
write in the chat, but if the thing's gone, it seems to have frozen. No, it seems to be going out.
Yeah, he's doing the royal
It's
wave
just-
there.
Yeah, he's in
The
the
royal wave.
Oh, he's stroking the back of my head, but actually,
Because obviously we've got a delay looking at this.
Wax
It's like
on,
watching
wax
screen.
off.
yeah.
So yeah, it looks like we are still going out. It's just my laptop is frozen, but I still have the chat, which is good. So,
Yeah.
right. Oh, a few other people are here. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. And right, formalities out the way first. Spurs or Scousers? I think that's a football-related
That's a
question.
football one.
I think
Oh.
I don't follow. Sorry, soccer.
No.
Sorry.
I don't follow English football. I'm
No.
one of the very small percentage of people in the UK that do not follow football.
No.
But apparently something big is happening on Saturday.
Grand Prix.
No,
Nothing.
football related.
Oh right.
Football.
And I think it's Spurs versus Liverpool in something. So I'm probably going to lose loads of followers now because I'm a British person that doesn't follow football. So yeah, so none of us.
We were talking
No,
about this
sure about
actually the other day though about NFL football in London.
Okay.
Usually comes a couple times
Hmm.
a year
It's American football.
as American football,
Yeah.
NFL football, and it's widely received during those games. They sell out, but I'm wondering if London or the UK would ever get a professional NFL football, American football
Dunno.
team.
Don't know.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. Why didn't the Americans call it English football?
English football.
We call it American football, but you don't call our game
English football.
You call it soccer.
Because it's worldwide. Soccer's worldwide.
Is it just
Yeah,
English
it's
people that call
soccer
it
in
football?
French.
I mean,
Okay.
I've heard of football too, though.
They call
Okay.
it football. Yeah.
Susie, thank you very much, Susie,
Right.
and hopefully you can make it to Expo. What do we think is going to be the hit game of Expo? Oh, wait a minute, that's the same question as Adam just asked.
That was a
I-
good-
we don't
what's
know.
going to be the hit game? I've got some.
We don't know.
We don't know, but I think Tiny Towns, if it's there, will be one of the hit games. There was another game as well. Oh, I was looking through the list of publishers that are going to be there, and I'm thinking that they've got the best game there. Dragon Castle's been nominated, hasn't it?
It has, even though it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. Is it strange that?
Cool Mini or Not's going to be there, and they have Wacky Racers that's been getting a bit of buzz.
Yeah, I grew up with that.
So yeah,
Grew up with that
cartoons.
as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Rolling Dice and Taking Names just had a big deal. They were talking about all their childhood cartoons and which
Yeah.
ones they loved.
Yeah. Right, Tony, can you confirm that tabletoppers will be used in the boardroom at Origins this year?
We are having game toppers in the boardroom. We're not actually having game toppers there, but we have 145 3mm premium stitched edge Origins and Game Topper logoed mats that they're orange. They've got the little crit logo in the corner. Really cool. So the boardroom will be totally tricked out with thematic game or
With the mats. But not the game
No,
toppers.
that would be a huge undertaking investment for
How
them
big is
and
the boardroom
storage. The boardroom is 175 tables.
Okay, right.
So, but we will have another section where we're actually setting up a different type of mat for the Origin showcase for the Origins Award nominated games.
Right.
That'll be the awards showcase. That'll be right next to the Game Topper booth, and we're going to have a bunch of our Game Toppers there, and there may be some additional ones there to demo some of.
Are you having one with the 6x4 picture of Barry?
We'll try to make that
Okay.
happen. Yeah,
Antonio, I can't wait for Wednesday
we'll
night
do that
Origins.
digitally.
Is it going to be double-sided? So you got this face and then the other face.
We don't want to see the other side. Well, we don't want to see either side,
Me and
actually.
Tony are, we've got a game planned of Space Corp on Wednesday night, so
Oh.
I'm really looking forward to that.
And then you play pick it, lick it,
Oh,
on
boy.
the mat. No,
That's
a
off the
question
bat.
in from Carl. Good question.
All right.
Going back to Star Trek.
Hey!
What do we think about the return of Picard?
Oh, well, I saw the trailer, and you know, those who haven't seen this isn't a spoiler. He's walking through his vineyard, and then he looks up with his old remorseful looking face.
And it says Picard. And
And,
that's it.
you know,
That is the trailer.
Sir Patrick Stewart. I've been hearing a bunch in the forums, and I've been reading
Okay.
different things online, and people are thinking this is going to be this big regret, you know, why he left Starfleet, and he's so upset with what's going on in the Federation.
I mean, he's going to come back, isn't he? He's going to. It's a Star Trek series. It's not a program about an old guy in a vineyard.
No, and it's gonna go back and recap all the things that happened when he became an admiral.
It's going to be a flashback
Right.
series.
So, but there's these.
Do you
Oh,
remember in episode
Is
57?
it then? Is it going to be a?
It is going to be a recap
A
of all
flashback
those
series.
things. Yeah, it's going to go
Right.
back and go through some of those. But there's this sense that it's going to be a regret type of dark storyline.
A bit like what he played in Logan. That'd be cool to hear Patrick Stewart swear. So cool.
It was cool.
I have a sense because I have such great affection for Patrick Stewart. I think he's a brilliant actor. His presence, in my opinion, was one of
That's
the
what I
best
wonder myself
captains
on.
of all of them.
One of the best captains, because I was about to say favorite captain.
Yeah.
Kirk.
I have a hard time with this one. So
Kirk.
It's hard, but I think Picard.
Picard's mine.
I think he's the best leader.
Okay.
So
Yeah, he's a
that
good
I would
leader.
say that, and I think he's probably the best actor. But
Yeah.
I really have a fondness for Avery Brooks as
Okay.
Commander Sisko.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a brilliant actor, and I like the way he managed that diverse space station. So,
Yeah.
you know, working with all kinds of people, I
Definitely
like the
Picard
way
for
they
me.
portrayed him. And
I mean,
he did it
right
brilliantly.
from episode 1, which is an awful episode.
Yeah.
But
Right.
when the alarm's going off on the bridge and he says, "Shut off that damn noise."
Yeah.
Wow, this is the captain I want.
This
You know,
is-
he was like,
Yep.
yeah, it was just, yeah.
I think he will pull it off because I think he's a brilliant actor. He'll be so compelling that whatever they do with it, you know, even if they fudge some of the writing, I think he'll make it attractive. I don't know. That's kind of my
I'm
sense.
excited about it. I'm a massive.
If there was a new Star Trek show, who would you like to see as a captain? From another from another TV sci-fi show.
That is a good question.
That is really hard.
Log on to the chat and ask that question in the chat.
Yeah, then we'll get to it. We'll
then
have some
we'll
time
get
to
to it.
think about it.
Ah,
On a slightly separate note
I'm
about
not
the-
going to type one finger on this tiny little piddly thing.
of the teaser, and you know, they only briefly show Picard, but it looked to me almost like he was CG'd slightly. Like they're trying to
Okay.
make him look a bit younger, because I know he's looking pretty old.
Yeah.
You know, he's been around a while.
Yeah, but
so,
they have to do that.
Well,
for
he's
the
like
whole
1,000,
series.
isn't he?
yeah, so
Something like that.
I think they may.
Then again, the
they may
technology
do
to
that.
make people look younger now is developed a lot more than it was when he did one of the X-Men films, where they were just developing that technology.
Yeah,
It looked awful.
X-Men 3.
Yeah,
Have you seen
right.
Captain Marvel?
I haven't seen
You
Captain
didn't
Marvel
get
yet.
to see it. You were busy. It was in
We were
theaters.
busy. I went and
How
saw.
they did Samuel L.
It's
Jackson
amazing. But how they
that
did everyone.
well
That
Was
was
good.
impressive.
was
How they did Kurt Russell. Amazing as
Yeah.
in
well.
Tron.
No,
No,
Kurt
Guardians
Russell.
of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Oh.
I'm thinking.
You're thinking Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But
But,
when I was watching Captain Marvel, I was like, "This is just amazing,
Yeah.
right?" It's just
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
There'll come a point where the actuals will have
we don't
passed
need a-
on, and we're still going to have them in film.
yeah.
Well, we've
Just-
kind of had it.
Just like we're getting new Elvis
Yeah,
albums every
Princess
year.
Leia, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
but
Right, back to the questions.
Oh.
Rick has popped his posters and tablecloth downstairs about 20 minutes ago. Oh, thank you very much. Rick came round and dropped some stuff off for me while we were
Okay.
busy talking. Thank you very much.
I thought that was the cat.
Oh,
eating
Paul's here from Games Law. That reminds me. Somebody who's watching this show live can win £25 worth of game vouchers.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. That's
So
awesome.
apologies that we've taken 48 minutes to get to this point, but if you've stuck with us, what you need to do is send me an email while the show is going out live. Don't send me an email afterwards if you're watching this show afterwards. Paul.grogan@outlook.com, and you need to say the word
Picard.
Picard. That'll do.
I was
So
gonna
drop me an email with Picard, and at the end of this show, I will do a draw. Thank you very much to Games Law for sponsoring the show, and somebody will win £25.
Paul.grogan@outlook.com.
Outlook.com.
The winner will win this card.
No, because I need that.
If they can read it.
If they can read it. I can't even read it, and I'm there. Right. So yeah, thank you very much, Paul, for sponsoring it. Right. Paul doesn't buy games anymore. No, he doesn't
No.
really.
No.
Don is here. Flying Monkeynuts
You need
here.
money to buy
Oh,
games.
Vittel
Buy a
the
few.
Sundial.
Did they listen now?
That is what is a Timepieces favourite game designer. Vittel the Sundial.
The sundial.
Yeah, it's a bit
That's-
far-fetched.
Yeah, that's not bad though.
David says, do we need the competition code? Yes, thank you very much. I'm just getting to the question. Paul isn't a Sean Connery fan. Right, Paul Bryan from Games Law, 583 games of Carcassonne, Hunters and Gatherers on Yucata.
That's amazing.
I've played Carcassonne, Hunters and Gatherers once,
I haven't played
and
it.
it was a better version of Carcassonne, and that's what I remember.
Wow.
Yeah, it was because Carcassonne for me is pick up a tile, put a tile down, score some points, pick up a tile. Hunters and Gatherers had some extra knobs and whistles on it
Yeah.
and made it a bit better.
You don't do house rules then?
I play with Paul's house rule for Carcassonne, which is you have
Have
a
hand for tiles.
hand of tiles, and
Yeah.
you draw, but it's still draw one, put one down.
Yeah.
So yes,
We engineered our rails on our game toppers for tiles, so for games like Carcassonne.
tiles
they
as
could
well as
actually-
cards.
That was
Yeah.
one of the big inspirations for that.
Yeah. Right, Tony's off. Thank you very much for joining us.
Bye.
Right, Paul is saying outer rim and wingspan. So outer rim
Great point.
Is out
Wingspan is
now.
huge.
okay.
and is released at UK Games Expo. My contact at Asmodee, because we were going to play it tonight,
Okay.
and he was supposed to send it on Thursday.
Well, let's finish this podcast.
No, he forgot. I mailed him today.
Yeah, I've
And
been
he went,
hearing a lot
sorry,
about
I
it.
forgot. It's on order now. So when I get back from Expo, there will be a copy of Outer Rim here.
Okay.
Unless
I'm
we
really excited about
unless we
it.
Yeah.
divert and come here before him because he's got to catch
There
the
you go.
train.
No, it'll be arriving Thursday.
Ah,
No, it might arrive.
we
tomorrow. It might arrive
have
tomorrow.
our minions.
So yeah, so
Hey,
Outer Rim,
Rick!
Outer Rim is being released at UK Games Expo, and that is going to be popular.
It's
That'll
gone.
be huge.
Paul is also saying Wingspan, because Wingspan
But
is
is it
really
available
hot
here?
right now. The next printing probably has just arrived. I don't know.
Right around the corner.
I don't know. I've lost track.
It's huge.
Emery saying possibly Sanctum. Sanctum is getting quite a bit of buzz, but it is only available for demo. And I have had a preview of it this morning from CGE. And the version that I am bringing to UK Games Expo is a perfectly playable game. And it is 90% of what the game is going to be. But even in the discussion this morning, they were like, we're not sure about this bit. We're not sure about this bit. So the game is still in development. But anybody who tries it at Expo is going to get a very good idea of how it plays. But yeah, it's not available. Don is asking, are we going to play Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth there? When you say there, do you mean here? Because we played it last night.
And probably Expo.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not going to play any games at Expo,
No.
are we? No, we don't go to play games at Expo.
We
It's
get
all
drunk.
it's all work for us.
We work.
We work and we get drunk.
Well, some of you do. Zohar84 says, "Don't worry, he's Italian and he hates Italian football." There we go. Some people think of him as a monster because obviously Italian, you've got to follow football as well if you're Italian.
Yeah,
right.
It's the same. Yeah,
Right.
Italian family.
Oh, science fiction shows.
Oh,
Emma's just come up with one.
Ooh.
Avon from Blake
Black
7
Seven.
as a captain.
Avon.
Now, have you seen Blake 7? Right, Blake 7 is a
1970.
late 70s BBC science fiction show
Okay.
that had a reputation for spending £2.50 on sets. The sets, every
They were
time,
Doctor Who sets from
it
the
was even
70s.
worse.
Yeah.
Every time they beamed down to a planet, it was a gravel pit because that's where they filmed all of the alien planets.
Yeah.
The special effects were really not good. The storyline for Blake 7 was excellent.
It was mind blowing. It's like it was the continuous story. It
Yeah.
wasn't one shot episodes.
Yeah, it was a continuous story.
Yeah.
And some of the acting in it was very ropey.
Yeah.
But two of the characters, Avon and Villa, because think Farscape. Farscape stole the idea from
they?
Blake 7.
Did they?
It's a load of criminals that have found a ship
No,
and
no,
have taken it over, and
no, but that's. Oh yeah, but
that's
That's
Farscape,
back-
isn't it?
yeah, it's by then. It's Farscape is Buck Rogers meets Blake 7.
Yeah.
Because it's
So yeah, it's a bunch of criminals, and they're all running away from the government because it's all bad and stuff like this. But Avon and Villa, the actors were incredible. The
Yeah.
relationship between those two, they hated each other,
yeah.
but the relationship between them was so brilliantly done. And Avon was a very, very good. So they were all nasty people because they were all
They were
criminals.
They were like
They
you
all
had
had
your
a-
rogue, you had your computer hacker, you had your
Yeah, they
your-
were all
what was the
criminals.
actor's name? I started watching it the other week.
Darrow?
Yeah, Paul Darrow.
Wow. I've met him at a convention.
How about
So you-
how about Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, I was
You know,
going to say
Fillion Mal.
Yeah,
From,
Mal
from
Reynolds.
Firefly.
but he's done his
Firefly.
Firefly. He's done his captain.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Yeah, I'm
If you
thinking
wanted
somebody who
us-
wasn't captain of a ship.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Avon from Blake 7. God,
Yeah,
I've had
good
Blake
choice.
7 flashbacks.
Yeah, interesting.
So am I.
They've been talking about redoing it for the last 10 years.
More than
Right,
that.
right.
More
It's
than
still-
that.
More than that?
Yeah, more than that.
They killed them all.
Way
off.
before Doctor Who came back,
Yeah.
they were
They
talking
were
about
talking
Blake
about
7.
Rick reckons Keyforge 2 is going to be big as well. Yeah, because they're releasing the second Keyforge.
Yeah, and
box.
that's
yeah,
that's
that'll-
spelled QUA.
Oh yeah, Quayforge.
Keyforge.
Keyforge.
Quayforge.
Taylor or Shepard from Stargate Atlantis. I watched the first series of Stargate.
Oh.
Didn't watch any others.
Well, then I think so I've not watched Stargate either, but my my sister and her husband they've been a fan of it, and I didn't know this, but Jason Momoa is in Stargate Atlantis, so
Okay.
and
Oh,
he
yeah,
could
yeah.
technically be a captain, and I mean
That would be good.
Okay.
I love Jason
Aquaman
Momoa.
is
So,
a Star Trek captain.
Mm. He can talk to the stars.
Right. Games Law will have a stock of Wingspan. So if you want Wingspan, Games Law will have a stock.
Oh, grab
but
it.
it will go. It will
It's
go.
wonderful.
It will go. Oh, Imperial Settlers Roll and Ride. That is number one on most of people's anticipated lists.
Okay.
So that's going to be huge. So yeah, Portal Games. Imperial Roll and Ride is popular. Imperial Settlers is popular. Portal Games do amazing marketing.
Right.
So that's going to be super.
Yeah,
popular.
And
that's
the good
true.
thing is you just go to your local supermarket and buy a packet of
Should've-
500 sheets of paper.
Not for
And-
Imperial Settlers Wing. No.
Oh, but
No.
you photocopy the thing.
Oh, you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
So-
nice if we would have had
so
a
it's-
list because we could have ranked these babies.
So it's a legacy game where you're destroying stuff, but you got this
Not a
infinite.
legacy game, is it?
But
Oh,
you,
your
once
version.
you draw on the paper,
Yeah, okay. So
yeah,
legacy
you got
game.
to throw it away.
Right, so that's the questions in from the live chat. I have caught up on the live chat questions. Keep them coming in. I will go back to the Facebook group. Vicky's left work, so she'll be arriving at some point.
I've done the washing up, Vicky.
Yeah, Barry's done the washing up. Right,
Paul, burn the house down.
AJ, will the game toppers be customizable in size and color?
They're not customizable by size, but
There's a lot of different sizes.
we have made a lot of variety of sizes because we have from smaller sizes like the Lestrade, which is 3 foot by 3 foot, Our all new Adler coming to Kickstarter is a 3-foot by 4-foot, which is a beautiful size. You can play a lot of game on that and yet not take up a lot of space. Our Watson is our #1 seller, is 38-inch by 60-inch play area. The Holmes, which we're enjoying here.
This is a Holmes. This
Yeah,
is
this
6
is
by
6 foot
3
by
and a
3
half?
foot,
6 by 3.
3 by 6.
So you do a 6 by 4.
And then we have our largest
war
topper
game.
is the
The
Mycroft, which is a 4-foot by 6, great big Warhammer miniatures type of table. But we have one in between now called the Moriarty.
Okay.
The Moriarty is a 4-foot by 4-foot. And
Right.
what's really neat about the Moriarty,
Because that's an X-wing size, isn't
That-
it?
It's
little
3 by
bigger.
3.
X-wing is
3
3
by
by
3.
3. Right. Okay.
but on 4x4 you can play a ton and it fits a square or a round table. But we have a 24-inch leaf that we've invented to make it a Mycroft. And then you can buy 2 of those 24-inch leaves to actually make it 8 feet. So you could have a Mycroft XL.
So you can get a bit that goes in the middle of this.
Exactly.
Right.
24 inches. So then next bodes the question, well, if you have a Holmes, we've successfully delivered over 1,400 units. What if you already have a Holmes? Can you make an 8-foot Holmes?
Right.
The answer is yes. You
Okay.
can buy this leaf and extend it. So if you have longer pool tables, ping pong tables, things like that you want to display your toppers on.
Yeah. Okay. So not customizable that you can't have your own shape
And then
and size, but there's lots of different.
Customizable color because you're mats.
Yeah.
Customizable for the finish as well.
Yeah, because this is a standard which has the
Powder coated
powder-coated
aluminum.
I want the wooden one.
and then we have
You want the aluminum?
two styles with wood inlays.
Yeah.
One with a natural oak, and then we have a walnut, which is a
The
dark-
premium walnut is like incredibly gorgeous.
It looks
so
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
it
it
does
feels
look
so
amazing.
nice. It's a lot of people like the standard though because it's just kind of got this sleek, sexy look. It's a little bit less expensive than
Yeah.
the wood, but wood gives you a really nice tactile feel
Yeah.
and that heirloom quality. But we're doing something that we haven't announced yet. This will be the first time that it's been heard on public.
World
Okay?
exclusive.
So here it is, Gamer Rules. We have worked out an arrangement with Dogmite Games, and they helped us with our poker component trays. And we have 2 models that we're going to be offering. They're going to be very limited. I don't like the word exclusive in Kickstarter, but limited because we only have so much production capability
Right.
to do this. But we're getting the toppers built without the wood inlays, and we've allocated a certain number of them in the Watson size and in the home size that allows us to do these custom sculpted rails.
Oh,
The one rail that we have is a Viking themed rail, which will go wonderful with our new Viking mat and our Viking dice tower. And we're going to call that the Odin bundle.
right.
It's beautifully sculpted. It's out of ash with a darker walnut stain in it. So all the colors of the wood come out, and these Viking boats, it's beautiful. And then a fantasy themed one with a dragon with a deep red rosewood color.
Right.
And again, it's the same quality that you're going to expect from
Yeah.
Dogmite Games. So very high quality, but that little bit of not going to be very many of them out in the wild.
Cool. The big question, though, that a lot of people have been asking: when can you get a game topper in the UK?
Oh, that's a great question.
You're not going to answer it, are you?
Well, we right now, my promises for fulfillment are still in works.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with some shipping situations, so I don't want to overpromise something I can't deliver.
But
But we will be having them soon. Our Kickstarter runs this June 25th,
Yep.
and right now we're targeting an early March type of delivery in Europe and in the United Kingdom. Now, I know there's some things going on, so we're making plans to help any eventualities. We have a warehouse in Germany right now that's going to be doing European fulfillment. Wonderful fulfillment partner. We're also going to be doing small package fulfillment with all of our game mats and our accessories, so you can still get the choice that you want. But we're going to look at a UK distribution partner so that hopefully we can bring product right here and deliver very quickly and effectively and much less price than what it is.
I mean, the reality is that you two are here in England, and you are going to UK Games Expo
Correct.
as game toppers.
Correct.
You wouldn't be doing that if you didn't have a plan to make game toppers available in the UK.
Exactly.
So they will be. Just watch this space, and the new Kickstarter will have all the details of that.
Yeah, we definitely are going to be here. So it's just a matter of when that time will happen, but it's relatively quick.
Yeah.
And our infrastructure is in place to make all of that happen. Now it's just a little bit of logistical planning. So very, very excited about that. You would not believe, Paul, just today I got an email from a guy from Denmark.
Mhm.
I probably get 3 dozen emails
From
or
the same guy.
contacts.
From the
When- and that was you. But it's,
When are you coming home? I'm putting the pizza on.
but people are super excited about
Yeah.
getting this. This is a affordable product. It's still very high quality and gives you all the functionality of a dedicated table.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't have that space, and they want to be able to take it down so you can have game night. You can play in luxury,
Yeah.
just like you had a expensive $5,000-$6,000 table.
I mean, I don't take this off because this is my studio where I do all my filming. But if this was downstairs in the dining room, it's like 5 minutes. You unscrew a couple of things, you take it out, you pick it up, you put it away, and that's it. In 5 minutes, you've got your dining room table back. So
like we made this decision to come to the UK Games Expo at the last minute, and so I called Barry. I didn't have logistical time to affordably get product here.
Yeah.
Barry has a topper in France, and he brought his topper,
Yeah.
in the nice storage
boom,
bag.
in the
And
car.
boom, we'll have it on the table in our
Yeah,
booth.
so there
setup.
will, there will be a
Like that.
game topper at Expo, and if you get Barry drunk and steal it, then
You can play Pick It, Rick It, Throw It, Pick It on my table, and I will keep it. Wherever it lands, it will dry out, go crusty.
Oh boy.
Right, we have a very important question
Very,
from Scott
that's
Hill.
inappropriate.
So in my last live Q&A, I got asked, where do odd socks go? That was one of the questions, because I get asked really important questions
They get
in
heavy.
my live Q&A.
Okay.
So I revealed a little bit of a personal secret in that we have an odd sock drawer in our bedroom,
You do.
right, which for years we have been putting socks in. And Vicky shouted at me for this because I said we never go through it. And she said, I do go through it. Right, we don't really go through it. So we've got this drawer filled with socks. It's overflowing with socks. Anyway, since the last live Q&A, we have been through the drawer.
Okay.
It is now only, it's still got about 25 socks in there and they're all on. We have no idea where the others are. But anyway,
You've got cats.
yeah.
There you
That's
go.
where they went.
So the question from Scott is, how many socks do you need to pull from your odd sock drawer to guarantee getting a matching pair? None, because every single sock now in the drawer is not
It's
part of
not
a matching pair.
Yeah.
Because
That's
we've
the
been through
style
it.
now. You can wear them now.
No, nobody will know.
That's
Well,
the style
no,
of
but
the
no,
80s.
that you want to wear mixed match socks.
No,
That's
because
the
my
cool
socks
thing.
normally have the day of the week on, right? And I can't wear.
It's right next to your medication box.
Yeah, yeah,
Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, a question in from Scott Milne: Rado or Vasel? I don't know in what context.
No.
Favorite, quality, personality.
Yeah. Yeah. Give us some pointers because
And
for each
That's
of
a hard
those,
one.
they're different.
Well, the question came in 3 hours ago, so Scott's probably disappeared.
you know,
I mean, go on.
no matter what the question is about, I think that the true answer is why not both?
What? Why not both?
You.
I'm
Kiss-
trying
kiss
to
butt.
compare them, and I think it's very difficult because
It is.
They are different.
okay, they both do videos,
Yeah, that's it.
they both do reviews.
Yeah.
Rado does playthroughs. Tom doesn't do playthroughs.
With the group, yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
thing
not
about
on his
Rado
own.
though that I think is so endearing, when he brings Jen, who isn't actually there,
But
into the equation, and
she's always
he's
playing the game.
yeah, and he's rambling, but nobody really does that, and he does it so quickly and so fluidly, and he just doesn't really care if it's not done perfect because he's playing it
Yeah.
off of that a little bit,
And Paolo does all the annotations afterwards. So
Yeah.
there's
And
notes on the videos.
and it works. It's an enduring listen.
Yeah.
So
I think with one of the big differences, and things have changed now with Richard moving back to the States, and obviously he's got medical expenses now. But in the past, he was like, "Look, I'm not getting any money for this, really.
Yeah.
I don't need to because I've made my money in computer gaming. This is he walked into a shop, bought Pandemic, fell in love with it. His enthusiasm
Yeah.
for the gaming industry and the hobby is just so intoxicating. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. And I'm not saying Tom isn't,
no.
but Richard probably more so.
Yeah. And the thing
And
is,
he gets excited and he gets carried away and what do I do? Do I do this? Oh no, I'll do that. But he's so passionate about it.
yeah.
And one thing I found with Tom, for all the criticism Tom gets, is that when I watch one of Tom's videos, I know I am getting absolute honesty. And I'll probably come in for some criticism with this, but the ones that I've watched of his, he goes good points, bad points, and, you know, not just the ones that I agree with, but even the ones I disagree with. I can say, okay, I disagree with you on that, but I can see exactly why you're saying it, and you've been honest about it. And yeah, and I think that's good. Yeah,
I think Tom too. I think he's become more of a media manager, in a sense, because there's so much content coming out that
he's still doing them himself,
He
which
does.
is great to see.
Yeah, he does.
He's still there in front of his wall, and he's still doing stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
but I think his role has slightly changed in the scale of everything he's doing. So, you know, I think his personality has changed a little bit on how he approaches things.
And one thing I will say,
you know, 5 years ago.
One thing I will say on camera is I get kind of ignored by a number of people who I email in the board game media thing. Tom and Richard never ignore my emails. They always come back to me.
Wow.
So yeah, they're
both nice guys to
They
hang
are
around
both,
with.
they're both nice guys.
Have you got my correct email yet?
I think I've got yours filtered off into another. Right, a question in from Dan Wiseman. Thank you very much, Dan. How do you win?
I don't. I just play the game.
Right.
How do you win?
How do you win?
Oh wow! Any way I can. No, I very rarely win anymore. But I don't know. Winning to me is when I was younger, I was very competitive. So it's very important to me to learn the game well, so that I could really do well. Do it honestly, but to do it strategically, and that was a lot of the type of games. Now it's much more about just the experience. I just want to have fun with people. It's not so much about winning anymore. And I try to win because I don't want to throw off the game.
I'm exactly the same.
But if I don't win, I don't get too
Because the people
uptight
who
anymore.
aren't the people who aren't playing the game to win, I don't want to play games with those people.
No.
Because why are they there? If they're there just to have fun, but actually they're just gonna do this, it's messing the game up for everybody
That's
else.
the problem.
So I play to win.
Yep.
And 10, 15 years ago, if I came last, I'd be angry with myself.
Yeah.
Because I was frustrated because I wasn't good enough or whatever.
Yep.
Now, I mean, we played Gentis the other night. It's my 5th game of it. I taught 2 new people how to play. I came last by a country mile. And it didn't matter because we played the game, and it's like, and I'm not sure why I'm not very good at this game.
Even if you're in, you know that, you know, if you have a game where there's a runaway leader, which that isn't always great, but when that does happen, I'm still playing for second. Yeah, still trying to go for it.
There's a group of people I used to play with, and they were of the train of thought: if you're not going to win, it doesn't matter.
No, it matters.
So what they did is like, right, well, I'm not going to win, so I'm just going to keep attacking you just because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
fun.
I play games as if it's a Formula 1 championship. So if I can't come first, I'll try to come second.
Yeah.
If I can't come second. So in that game, where Barry's run away with it and he's winning by a country mile, and I'll make a move on you, some people might go, well, why are you not making a move on him? And I'm like, look, I'm going to do this move. It's going to take 2 points off you and give 1 point to me. That's going to get me 3rd place. Taking 2 points off you isn't going to change anything whatsoever. But as I say, I know a lot of people that say you always should try and take points off the person who's winning. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to get into my own best position.
That's my approach.
Or you're trying to bring the game to a finish because the guys that are playing to win are AP and they are spending 10 minutes per turn.
It's over.
So, yeah.
But this is the one who always wins, so he should be telling us how to win.
So, obviously, world champion, 2016 Star Wars Armada. Are you generally good at other games as well?
You saw last night.
Is he generally good at other
we've played a
games?
cooperative game together, that's all.
We did, yeah.
2 cooperative games.
So,
I
I don't know, but are you generally good at games?
If they don't have a lot of chance.
Right. Okay.
But I feel part of it is when we're playing new games, I'm the one who's always learning the game and teaching the game. So
this is true.
I also have more information or familiarity with the game.
Okay. But I honestly, I've been around a ton of gamers, and this isn't just kudos to my son, but I've been around a ton of super smart folks that play games. And I've never seen anyone read a rule book as quickly as Josiah, be able to teach the game and understand the strategy and the working of the game.
Right.
And he's able to employ that on first play, where I have to play a game 2 or 3 times before I'm starting to know whether I can even kind of compete. And generally,
there's a couple of people I know that can listen to my rules explanation of a of a Vital Lacerda game, for example,
Mhm.
and then know what they're doing and get
And
double
how
the
to
score of
win.
everybody else,
Yeah.
right? And that's like Isaac Childress level,
Oh, exactly.
right?
Well, I remember we played the Queen Shogun game with the Cube Tower
Yep.
with Blue Peg, Pink Peg, and it was the first time I'd been listening to them, got to know them, and we met them at Gen Con, and we actually played one game with them late in the evening, like
Mhm.
1 p.m., till 4, and all of those guys who are experienced gamers, they were quite impressed with Josiah, and he was 19 years old or
Right.
whatever that was.
Cool.
So yeah, he's sharp.
So that's how you win. Well, we're slightly sidetracked.
Yeah.
You win by having fun at
Yeah.
the table together.
And
That's a good point.
crushing your opponent. Right, a quick shout out for the contest. If you are watching this live, send me an email, paul.grogan@outlook.com with the word, what was the word? Picard. That's it.
Picard.
Send me the Picard and I'll do the,
Kit, link.
I'll do
That
the
was
draw at
word.
the end of the show. £25 worth of game vouchers, which if you're going to Expo, you can pick up there. Right. We've got another good question here.
Oh, good. I
Nella-
was just about to phone my wife for a question.
Nella
Can I
Waters.
phone a friend?
Yeah. What's your favourite component from any game ever?
That's hard because
See, I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to think of something
Yeah,
later.
well,
yeah.
What's the gut?
The first one that comes to my head is an X-wing figure. They are just
Because they're gorgeous.
they're gorgeous.
They're really well painted and molded.
Yeah.
And, okay.
But I got rid of them.
Because you didn't play it.
See, I didn't play it and I didn't enjoy
See,
playing
and I
it.
wasn't initially thinking miniatures, because if we're thinking miniatures, then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, that
A
opens
component, yeah, but
I'm
you could say
thinking it's almost a mechanism because for me it's that cube tower
up. Right.
from show. I love the
You
way
like
that
the cube tower.
I love that thing, and they brought it back. They had it in Wallenstein, but then they
Yeah.
brought it in the new game Immortals.
Yeah.
There's one other game that has that. where they-
Amerigo. Stefan
yeah,
Feld's
Amerigo.
Amerigo.
Yeah,
From
Amerigo. Yeah,
Queen
yeah.
Games.
there's,
Well, Wallenstein
there's,
was
another,
first.
there's another game.
Wallenstein was
Wallenstein
first.
was
See, I
first.
have Wallenstein. He
Yeah.
has Shogun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I'm not sure. Favorite component from any game ever?
My blood.
I mean, the
rage.
purple cube from Kalis. Oh, gives me shivers.
That was the first game that ever had purple.
Well, we were talking about the samurai swords too.
The samurai swords are pretty cool as well.
No,
Question in from Caroline. What is your favorite heavy games for 2 players? We're struggling to find involved games that work for smaller numbers as our gaming group shrinks.
Fields of Arla.
Fields of Arla is brilliant and is a 2-player game unless you get the expansion, which puts it up to 3.
Love that.
So yeah, and it's quite heavy. So if you
Uwe.
like Uwe Rosenberg,
Exactly.
Claustrophobia 1643.
I've not played that, but I've heard it's good.
It is good.
Heavy,
It can be
2 players,
2 players. It's 2 players, and it can be heavy if you calculate.
right?
But if you just play like, oh, I'm just going to move this guy here and do that and attack you and whatever. But if you think about it, because it's really in the movement
Right.
and how you position yourself,
Okay.
and that's where the mechanisms are really strong. So
Right.
yeah, that's really kind of a calculating game.
Okay. So yeah, Fields of Arla,
Yeah, the
Claustrophobia.
2-player.
well, it's interesting because if I look at my
Armada.
my board games that I own, probably half of them or more are 2-player.
Right.
And that's just because I really enjoy a lot of strategy games, and a lot of those tend to be 2-player.
Yeah.
Whether they're historical simulation, or miniatures, whatnot. So
We just played the new Martin Wallace game. I don't know if you consider it really super heavy, but deck deconstructing with Lincoln.
Mhm.
That was an awesome.
I have a copy.
It's
That
a
one
great
was good.
game, but it's
It needs a
It's
new
tense.
rule book.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. He read it.
It was
Yeah. Well, the rule book is awful, and PSC games are a client of mine, so I hope they don't mind me saying that. The official FAQ is wrong and contradicts the rule book and things like this.
I remember that. I read
Apparently,
we were-
quite a
we
minute.
did have a
apparently
couple
there's a good
issues.
game in there, but you need to wade through lots of FAQ and then the FAQ to the FAQ to make sure you're actually playing it correctly, and that has stopped me playing the game. I have a copy in the other room,
Oh, wow.
but I don't.
We
I haven't
really
got
had fun
time
with
to
it.
go through that.
It was good.
But if you go through that,
That's a
it's
good
apparently
game.
really good. So yeah,
Yeah.
right. What games can get you out of a gaming slump if at any point you get one? So if you're in a bit of a slump and you're like, what is the one game that somebody could say, do you want to play this? Would get you out of that slump? For
Pretty
me,
much.
anything with wooden cubes in it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm easily pleased.
Yeah.
I'm easily playing.
Yeah, me too.
Say say viticulture, one of those two.
Right.
Don't matter.
Blood Rage is my favorite game. So if
Okay.
you said Blood Rage or Baseball Highlights 2045, I'm in. Just at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's many.
Hero Quest.
But I'd play
Hero
anything.
Escape.
Just playing games is you know, the opportunity to play.
Yeah, just anything.
So yeah, if we talk about our favourite games, Blood Rage, Viticulture.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of favourite games.
Splendor.
I've got 50 top 10 games.
I've
Yeah,
got-
we have a
I've
lot,
got
too.
1,000 top 10 games.
It's so hard.
Did any of you tabletop roleplay? This is from Lorraine. Yes. So I started in 1983 and I stopped 2009. No, 2007. When I lived in Hertfordshire before I moved down to the southwest, I was running 2 weekly D&D groups. So when I role played when I was younger, and then when I moved away, I carried on role playing, and then when I moved to Hertfordshire, I started 2 groups, and then when I moved away from there, I stopped, and I haven't done any role playing since.
Okay. Not in the bedroom then.
Definitely not in the
Okay.
bedroom.
Right.
No, I got the Warlock's costume and everything, but not interested. I think Vicky's just gone home actually. So I did D&D for 25 years and Rollmaster and GURPS and a whole host of other ones, but primarily D&D.
I've done a bit.
What was my favourite? My favourite role-playing game is probably one that I've never actually played.
Tune.
Shadowrun.
Oh, Shadow.
Shadowrun.
I love the idea of modern with fantasy mixed.
Mhm.
And Shadowrun is a modern setting, but where magic is real and there's elves and there's dwarves and there's computer hacking and stuff like that. And I've never played it. There's a lot of role-playing game systems out there and
Yeah.
genres, but that's the one which
You're
I've
playing
never played.
D&D.
Yeah, I've actually had never done any role playing until just less than a year ago. Actually,
Okay.
a friend of mine who's about my age back in hometown, he had been doing some listening to Critical Role for a
Mhm.
while, and so he's like, he had never heard of like D&D before that, I don't think, and so he decided that he wanted to get a group of friends together and run a game. So we've been doing that for a while, and I'd never done it before, and it was like, yeah, I wanted to try it.
Using D&D 5th edition.
Yeah, D&D 5th edition, and it's been great. Enjoyed it quite a bit, and I actually started listening to and watching Critical Role, so I enjoy that quite a bit. And then I have a bunch of the FFG Star Wars stuff, but
Yeah, we did that a couple
still
times.
trying to find time and people to.
I have browsed the rules for because there's 3 core systems, isn't there?
Yeah.
Each set, but it's the same mechanic,
Yeah.
the same mechanism. I love the dice system in the Star Wars role-playing game.
Mhm.
I just love it because most role-playing games I've played are like, oh, we're trying to pick the lock on a door. What's the difficulty? 18. Roll some dice. You've done it.
Mhm.
The Star Wars one is right. Roll a bunch of dice, but it's dark, so add that one. Or you're under pressure, so add that one. But actually, you've got this, so add that one. You roll the dice and you go, right, you've done it, but
Mhm.
there's that symbol, so something's gone wrong. Or this symbol, and it enables storytelling. And that's why I love those. The mechanisms in the game help with the storytelling. It isn't just black or white. Did you do it or not? It's like, oh, something's happened. Right, we've got to be creative. We've got to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's really good.
Yeah, I think it would lend itself a lot more towards storytelling focused groups because I've really enjoyed. I think from what I've played, enjoyed D&D more, but it's way more structured, and I personally like a lot of structure. And considering I haven't done much role playing, going into a more narrative style is something I'm just not quite as ready for.
I mean, I was very much a crunchy gamer. So when I play D&D, we use the miniatures, we use the floor plans, we use the rules as written. That's what we did.
Did you use Sirenscape?
No. And I joined one group as an experiment, and all they wanted to do was just sit around for 3 hours talking in character. And I was bored out of my skull. What's the mission? Rescue the princess. Right, let's go. Who are you? I'm a troll from the Eastern Kingdom of whatever. Right, okay, done. Right, let's go off and
Forward pass.
No. But yeah, it's not that I didn't want to spend 3 hours sitting around talking about what my character liked food wise. I want to play an adventure game. I don't want to role play as such. But the Star Wars one, I think, is a good hybrid because you're playing a crunchy rules role playing game, but actually, something's happened, right? And it would inspire you to add a little. So it's still a crunchy role playing game with lots of rules, but then with something that helps you with the storytelling as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, occasionally I dabble and I look into various role playing games, and I got a PDF of the starter set for Shadowrun and read through that, and then same with Star Wars. But I don't have time.
Yeah,
That's
the thing.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It is a shame. Right, what's the most
Game room.
underrated dungeon crawler board game from Simon Turle? Gloomhaven is probably very underrated, I think. I mean, it's so low in the
What's
rankings
that?
and
I've never
BGG.
heard of that.
It's some
Oh,
little
$10.
$10.
Yeah, that one.
No. So a dungeon crawler game which is underrated.
Underrated.
That's hard. Because I don't think any of them are.
Is Claustrophobia a dungeon crawler game?
It's
Mass
no,
Mora.
it's more. It's
It's
dungeon crawl, but it's more survival horror.
Okay.
Mass Mora.
Not heard of that.
Skyrim.
That's
No.
Simon.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
Because
good.
most of them are, Descent, Mice and Mystics.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven. They're all fairly big,
Yeah.
well-known ones.
Mhm.
I don't know of any that aren't that.
Yeah,
well-known.
well,
Consider the
You've got the what's the
they're pretty highly rated though.
Yeah, Shadows of Brimstone's done really well. They all do pretty well because they
Is that
have
a
so
dungeon
many.
crawler?
That's a dungeon crawl.
Okay.
But they have so many expansions, so I don't think there's any underrated ones. I just think there's ones that people just talk about a lot.
Right. Last question in on the Board Game Geek. On the Board Game Trading in Chat UK Facebook group is from Paul Smith. With the recent IP-related games such as Star Wars, Star Trek, Hellboy, Batman, etc., what IP would you love to be made into a game? Good question. Blake 7.
Blake 7.
Because sometimes IP games get it wrong. Very wrong.
Sometimes IP games are just made for the money. They're not made for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes IP games like Star Trek Ascendancy.
Mhm.
Well,
it's hard to say because there's some that have had games with the IP already, so it's I'm trying to filter those out.
Yeah.
I think Starship Troopers could be an interesting.
Well, there was a miniatures game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was just a miniature skirmish game. It wasn't.
there was one.
There was a miniature skirmish game, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could do a tower defense with that.
Yeah.
God, I'm just trying to think.
What IP would
Automan.
I like to be? Automan.
I'd love to have that car which goes at 90-degree angles.
80s TV shows.
Well, I love the fact that the Dune IP is coming back with
Yeah.
Gale Force 9. We'll
Yeah.
see how it turns out, but
Although Rex was Dune, wasn't it?
basically,
Yeah.
we love
Right.
Rex.
I would like to see different type of BattleTech games that weren't just the miniatures.
Well, there's the
combat.
role playing. Mech Warrior, the role playing game.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
actually never heard of it.
But yeah, it would be nice to have
like a tabletop
a tabletop
board game.
strategy competitive board game.
That wasn't miniatures
with-
combat. That was more
in the Mech
even
Warrior
even
universe.
Euro-ish.
Yeah.
In BattleTech universe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive fan of the BattleTech universe. I just love the idea of big robots with things inside.
It's really hard to think of something which hasn't been done before as well, because
Yeah.
everything's similar, isn't it? You say
Yeah, and he's finding something that would be
unique.
unique and would be good in a game.
Yeah. I
But yeah, a
you
lot.
could, you could say Farscape and just what kind of game would you make out of it? Would it be I mean, there's the role playing, which I still haven't
I
played.
could see like a Halo. It's like a squad based.
Yeah, some computer game like that. Right, that's it for the questions on there.
Evil Dead.
Let's just go back to the live chat because I've not been looking at the live chat now for
Thinking
ages.
more Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner.
What's up, guys?
Right, okay. Let's
you
go
got
back
to set up
to
some
the
traps,
chat.
and you'd have to go and spend get some resources to get some Acme
Acme Bomb.
Acme
bombs.
bits, and then you got to combine them together like mouse
Springs.
trap.
Yeah, we had springs.
Yeah,
bombs.
and then you got to trap Roadrunner.
Yeah, I like it.
Where's the chat?
Meep.
And big stones that fall on.
Pop out.
Yeah, and dynamite that explodes.
Right. Thank you very
10
much for
minutes
bearing with
after.
us, or thank you very much for popping in. If you are, have we got a cat? We've got a cat.
We'll fill in the ums and ahs for you.
Right. Where are we? What
Okay.
did we get?
We got a bottle of water, and this is first prize for helping decorate
For
Right.
Paul's
Picard.
Orlando says, "Is there a tabletopper that goes well with the brass board games?" I guess a mat that would go well
Yeah.
with brass.
With brass. Probably all of our standard ones, of course, would look really good with that.
Red
But like
Balloon.
a dark industrial themed.
We are
I'm not just thinking
actually.
of brass. I'm thinking for 18xx games and things like that. Some kind of, 19th century.
That'd be a good thought,
Yeah.
actually. We're going to actually put out a survey. We'd love to hear your feedback on type of environments that you'd like to see. We do have a war terrain white gray mat that would it would really pop off of that particular mat as far as that, but it's not thematic.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of cool, and do something that even had a little bit of steampunk
Yeah.
type of.
Yeah.
About a sugar rush map, you know, like lollipop trees and a chocolate syrup racetrack, and
Orlando's got a good idea, business idea.
All right.
He's in for 25% if you take this.
Okay.
Take this
Okay.
He didn't say that. I'm going to take 20.
You're good.
We need tabletop. We need, in capital letters, tabletop bundled options with Kickstarter board game editions.
Ah.
that's a good idea.
We actually are going to be doing one particular. I don't know if you want to call it a
Tie-in.
package, but with Grey Fox Games.
Right.
And we're going to be doing something with our Viking and their Champions of Midgard and Reavers of Midgard, because
Right.
it's all going to tie together really nicely.
Okay.
But we may be doing other thematic mats with major companies where we will do some bundling.
There you go.
I just thought
So
of a
that's
great
in the
one.
works.
That's in the works.
I
And
thought of a
if-
great one that Paul would like.
go on.
If you would like one with tripods and Victorian figures running away
Yeah.
from heat waves, so would I.
Ooh-la.
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 If
Um,
only there were one that would go with something like brass, maybe.
If
Maybe.
only.
Maybe a
There you
big
go.
trumpet.
If only.
If only.
A big trumpet on your mat.
I like that idea a lot.
Brass
So
instruments.
Paul Bryan from Games Law says, let me know if you don't have a meeting set up with Dan at Spiral Galaxy about UK fulfillment and distribution.
I would
We were
love
talking
that.
about this earlier on, and what did I say?
He said, I know a guy.
I know a guy, and I will speak to him after we've done the live Q&A, so I expect a private message from me in about 10 minutes.
And are you
right.
carrying any more Heroscape stock?
right,
I can't remember the last time I bought something from
there's a
you.
question in here from a guy called Rick.
Oh, that guy.
Round,
The
you-
pterodactyl from Lost Ballads of the Dinosaurs. Is that favourite component ever?
Pterodactyl.
I guess when we're talking about favourite component from any game, pterodactyl from
Yeah, I
Lost
like
Valley of
that.
the Dinosaurs. Orlando, what are your favourite traditional playing card games?
Oh, I know. Mine, hands down, is well, it's going to be two, but it's going to be cribbage and poker.
Which version of poker?
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em. Because Texas Hold'em just blows 5 cards stood out the water, doesn't it? It's just not even a game
We
anymore.
love
It's,
it. We play it a lot, and we
Yeah.
actually have a Texas Hold'em mat that has Western art assets all on the mat.
Right.
It's gorgeous. It's crazy cool. We had Lance Meister, the undead Viking, come to
Yeah.
our home from Fargo and actually play poker with us. He's
Nice.
got all the really expensive chips that have special weighted things,
Okay.
and we just had a blast playing that.
Cool.
But I played a ton of cribbage with my father.
Cribbage. I played
and
cribbage
my
with
grandpa.
Grandpa
and-
a long time ago.
From you.
We played card games. I don't know what the names were, but they were like Uno and like the Great Damuji. So
Okay. I mean, I think he means traditional card games with packs of normal cards.
yeah, but we
52
played
cards. Oh, right.
those with
Oh,
traditional
with-
cards.
Ah, right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't play that many, but as I mentioned at the start, Sunday evenings was family night and a couple of family friends, and it was canasta. I don't even know if canasta is a good game now. I just played it when I was like 8.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
No,
decent.
it's good.
Is it all right?
It's
Yeah, it's
decent.
still good.
Okay.
Still good.
It holds up.
For me, it would have been a lot of cribbage. Or recently, it's one that my mom always played with her family, and then my girlfriend's family plays it quite a bit. So I've been playing it now, but I didn't play it when I was a kid. It's called 500. It's just like a trick taking game, and there's bidding involved on
Okay.
how many tricks you take.
And it's
So-
a traditional
Yep.
card game played with normal cards.
Yeah, each suit has different values of the tricks too, so which suit matters.
Right.
Going back to the favorite component
Favorite component from any game ever.
Yeah,
from any game ever is the Splendor chips.
the Splendor chips. I was
Those are
thinking one
alright.
too.
No, but it's just something tactile.
They're great.
Yeah, I just
Isn't that just any chips from any game?
Yep.
Have you played it? Have you seen the
Well,
iron clays from
No.
the brass?
No.
I'll show you
No,
them later.
no.
They are.
I want to
Gorgeous.
play it.
They are gorgeous.
they're the only chips that I have.
You know, I was thinking about it too afterwards with the question, because it's such a, you got to think about it a little bit. But
Mm.
Francis Drake by Peter Hawes,
Mhm.
Eagle Griffin games.
Yeah.
I love those boats.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah, the boats are
fantastic,
good.
and the
The
different
treasure
sizes.
chests.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
amazing.
You've just reminded me the train from Cold Express.
The train from
Yeah, there
Cold
you go.
Express is good.
Apart from the meeples falling over.
Rick is saying a good Transformers game. Rick's a big Transformers fan.
Transformers.
There's
Robots
the new
in
card
the
game.
sky.
There's the card game, which
Which-
didn't get a good, yeah.
I think I played a prototype of a Transformers-ish game where you're building up robots and then they fight each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, that's another cool IP.
Yeah,
But that might work best as a minis game.
yeah.
a sort of, fighting
And
sort
have
of
real minis. Be
thing.
expensive because you have to make 2 of every character, wouldn't you?
And a final question in from Emma before we wrap things up. Does Barry know how to play Belote or Tarot?
Bellet.
Bellet.
Tarot.
And is Tarot a game?
Tarot is a game. That's why it's called tarot cards.
Oh, right.
It's like Uno cards.
Okay, so tarot cards, as I understand
That's
them.
a size.
Yeah, I have played them. Where I've played card games, I don't take in the names of what those card games are because it's just a deck of cards.
Right, so you might have played them.
I've played them. I know I've played them. My wife taught me tarot,
Right.
but I can't remember the rules off the top of my
Okay.
head.
Are they French games, though?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Belote.
Belote, I think it's pronounced.
No, it's not. Beloted.
Bloated.
Yes.
Bloated.
Beloted. That's what Guinness will do to you. And pizza. Paul's an excellent cook at pizza. But yeah, that's a trick-taking game.
Okay.
Yeah, so Trop de cul. There you go, Anne.
You just
Emma.
Excuse me.
Trop de
you're
cul.
just swearing at the
It's a-hole in French.
Oh, right.
That's the name of a card game, and that's
Oh, yeah.
that's
Well, we have something similar that's
yeah, which
that's a
is like-
swear word,
yeah.
where every card does a different thing.
No,
I played a 7, so I'm
No.
playing this one.
This is like breakdown mochi.
Oh, right.
basically.
Okay, right. So there we go. Thank you very much to everybody for joining us. We'll wrap things up there. Thank you very much for all of the questions in advance
Yeah.
and for the ones on the show. Just one final reminder, because I will be doing the draw in about 10 minutes' time. If you want to win £25 worth of games vouchers from Games Law, just send me an email, paul.grogan@outlook.com, and say the word Picard. And if you are a patron supporter, I will enter you into the contest twice. Otherwise, you'll get entered into the contest once. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much to you guys.
Remember, Picard,
Thank
not
you.
pick hard.
Picard.
Not
Pick a card.
Or pick a card.
Not pick it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
For those people who are going to UK Games Expo, I will see you there.
We will see you there.
We'll
We
all
will
see you
see you
there.
all there. We'll be back.
Is that Sean Connery again?
Very bad Arnold.
I think he's taking the Mickey Mishmary.
Yes, right. Thank you very much for joining us. I will now find the button on how we turn
Make them
off
an
this
offer
thing.
that he can't refuse. You know?
What is there? We'll carry on doing
We'll see.
impressions all night. Cheers all.